Zhongli, Geodaddy, the guy who can summon Mora but forgot to do so before submitting his gnosis. Oh yeah, he also summons a huge pillar that can shove up my ass. Anyways, in this video, I'll be covering Zhongli's kit, talents and leveling prioritization, artifact builds, recommended weapons, recommended team comps, and how to play Zhongli. I have already made guides on various characters, so do check them out if you're interested. Timecodes are in the description, so do skip ahead on which info you would like to look on. Anyways, my name is PP and welcome to a Genshin Impact guide video. So how does Zhongli work? Zhongli is a Geo Pillar Summoning Daddy, Geo Polearm wielding character that provides utility, shreds, and petrifies. His elemental skill, Dominus Lapidis, is very useful in terms of utility. If you press the skill, he summons a pillar called Stone Stale, which acts like an on-field crystallization maker. But if you hold the skill, he'll summon a shield that can tank a certain amount of his max HP, and also an extra 150% absorption of all elemental and physical damage. Mainly you want to hold the skill to always have the shield at 100% uptime. Personally, I like to press the skill. Why? Because I like to climb the pillar. His elemental burst, Planet Befall, summons a huge meteor, or in other case, a meatball, which petrifies enemies that is in his AoE. This burst has a quite high scaling to the point where Zhongli can be a burst support as well. Turn the one shot. So for talent leveling prioritization, I would suggest leveling both elemental burst and skill. Burst for maximum petrification time and damage, while skill for maximum utility with the shield. On to his passives. Resonant Waves increases 5% shield strength every time you get hit with the Jade Shield, and a maximum of 5 stacks can be achieved. His other passive, Dominance of Earth, is where every damage he deals with his basic attacks, skill and burst depends on a certain percentage of his max HP. And the last passive lets Zhongli demand a 15% refund of ores used if crafting a polearm. Constellations. C1. Zhongli can now summon 2 pillars instead of 1. 2 pillars. One on top and one bottom. C2. After using his ult, you and your core friends can have shields as well. C3. Increases the length and width of his pillar. C3. Increases skill talent by 3 levels. C4. 30% increase AoE and 2 seconds extra petrification for his burst. C5. Increases burst talent by 3 levels. C6. The shield now heals if the character takes damage with the shield. Summary to his constellations. You actually don't need any of his constellations because he already works so well with Constellation 0. So yes, just save up for Mummy Yay. Only pull for C1 if you like double penetration. Okay, before we continue, I have a favor to ask. Do like the video. It helps a lot. Artifact builds. For pre-AR 45 players, 3-star options would be Adventurer 2-piece for extra HP. Other than that, I don't see Zhongli using any other set besides this during early game. For endgame players, 2-piece Noblesse and the 2-piece Archaic is best in slot if you want to maximize his burst damage. But most players nowadays will be using the 4-piece Millilith as this gives extra HP that suits well with his kit, while also buffing your other characters in the party with the 4-piece passive. For Sans, HP, and for Goblet, Geo damage bonus or HP for more shield strength, and for Circlet, crit rate or crit damage depending on what you need, and HP for more shield strength. Recommended weapons. For 5-star options, Staff of Homer. High crit damage given and passive gives extra HP, which is perfect for Zhongli. Jade Spear, Skyward Spine, and Vortex Vanquisher are the weapons you can use, but not recommended since it does not offer a better stat or passive than Homer, but they are presented here as options. For 4-star options, Lithic Spear gives extra attack and crit rate from its passive, but does cause you to run a full Leah team. Deathmatch gives extra crit rate and passive is okay, but does cost you the battle pass. For free-to-play options, Pavonius Lens for better energy team management, or the Black Tassel for better shield utility. Okay, for team comms, I'ma keep it short. Zhongli fits in most teams, like any team, literally. So yeah, nothing much to say. So how to play Zhongli? For skill, do it at the start every time before your rotation, and be sure to refresh it every 8 to 10 seconds in order to keep the shield on. A thing to remember is to always hold the skill and make sure enemies are in the area while holding the skill, and hitting enemies with it can reduce their resistance in order to deal more damage to them. For burst, I would not recommend using this often as the animation takes up time, but do use it in cases like in need of keeping enemies in place or to iframe an enemy attack. You can basically play Zhongli by putting on the shield, then burst, then swap to your other supports or damage dealer, then repeat the rotation every 8 to 10 seconds. My advice, Zhongli has one of the best shield utility in the game. He's also very flexible when it comes to team comps and weapon choices. His whole elemental skill also provides resistance shred to enemies. The downsides of Zhongli would be his burst animation that takes up quite long, and the petrification is quite short if you do not have his 4th constellation. Overall, he's a character worth pulling for, and works really well even with no constellations on him. But if you do get C1, do tell me which you prefer, top or bottom. Thanks for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, do leave a like and subscribe to see more vids like this, and do leave a comment and chat with me on Twitch or Discord anytime. Links in the description. And as always, I'm PP.